We're going to talk about something that's just an underlining theme that has been pretty big since I started coaching. Um, and that is the realization that you've done enough and it's time to go into surrender mode. So I have done a talk on surrender within the community before, and I'll make sure that I post that link down below. But when we move into a fertility journey, we are taking all of our habits with us, right? Most of us weren't born, quote unquote, infertile or dealing with fertility issues. And we weren't born with all our limiting beliefs and our habits and our patterns. There's, definitely some genetic stuff that we were born with, and then the environment and the way our family and our society that we grew up in started shaping how we move through the world. I know you guys have heard me say it before, but I think like over 90% of people dealing with fertility issues are type A. And unfortunately, we've typed A our way into these fertility issues because it's just not talked about enough about how the anxiety and the stress and the people pleasing and the overdoing and the consistent need to do the checklist and just do. Like, I feel like I'm doing, so therefore I'm achieving, and that's what's going to get me to my ultimate goal. Go to the fertility clinic, keep doing IVF. And when you consistently are like that, your adrenals are just getting whacked. You're in flight or fight mode. And it's just a recipe for disaster. Now, there comes a time in everyone's journey where they are doing enough, but they don't necessarily see the results that they want. This is just a time factor in the sense of you're gonna need time for everything that you're doing, quote unquote, right for you now, to really have time to heal your body, right? I can't, like, if we hook up in a one-to-one session and I'm like, we need to fix your gut health. Okay, we now know that here we're going to implement it. You're implementing the right diet, the right stress release, the right supplements. And the next month you're like, why am I not pregnant? I'm doing everything right. It's like, well, for most of us, if we're having severe gut problems, it's going to take a few months for those gut problems to resolve themselves, and then it needs to trickle down to your fertility, meaning you have to resolve the root cause. And then once you resolve that root cause, it then kind of like spreads everywhere else. Remember, your fertility is going to be one of the first things your body shuts off when it's in pure survival mode. It's completely affected by the inflammation and oxidative stress going on wherever you're creating it in your body. And it will kind of be one of the last things to trickle down to, but also the fact that it takes a minimum of 3 months for an egg to mature. So we're not going to bypass that. And the way you guys have to think about this in your head is like, okay, I've taken 3 months to dramatically reduce my inflammation and my oxidative stress. And I know 3 months sounds like a really long time, but sometimes that's what it takes. And to be honest, most of the time, that's what it takes, if not a little bit more. So you take those 3 months, then you add on 3 months for your egg to mature in an environment that is in thrive mode and not in survival mode. You really um, want to try your best to not conceive during this healing phase and during this time that you're allowing, finally putting in the right steps to, blossom and mature. The last few conversations I've had with discovery calls and one-to-one clients is the frustration of the past. Right? I've been at this for 2 years. I've been at this for a really long time, and I'm just frustrated that I've had to go through all that I had to go through, and I'm still not seeing the results that I want. Let's just say the first 6 months to year was, we want to just like take an eraser and kind of like rub that one out. Most of us, when we're starting a trying to conceive journey, we don't go and pick up, you know, the right fertility books or seek the right fertility help because we don't think we're going to have an issue. So we start having that issue, and then we get sucked in by the white coat syndrome, and the doctor saying, you can't do this, you can't do that. They're not recognizing thyroid issues, gut health issues. And so you're moving through this journey, maybe doing fertility treatment, and it's quote unquote not working, but you're not doing, let's say you're doing like 10% of the right things. And so when you slowly get yourself out and you're like, okay, this is not working, I'm going to start readjusting. And when you finally feel like you're on the right track with with the 6 steps, right? The diet, the rest and recovery, the energetics, the awareness, the mindset. No, what did I? Yeah, mindset and targeted supplementation. Um, you you can feel like, okay, this is when my journey started. I literally can wash away the first 3 years of my journey. Even though I was trying to conceive, doing all the tips and tricks out there, I was not focusing on any of the 6 steps. Um, The closest thing I came to do was, like, cut down my alcohol, and I remember before my first failed IVF, I started drinking O'Doul's, um, 0% alcohol, or, like yeah, so, like, a 0% beer, but, like, still crappy, crappy for my gut. Those first 3 years, like, I just kinda have to forgive myself for. And really honor myself that I didn't know. And that's just part of life, and you can't get upset with that, and and you got to try your best not to be resentful of those times that you feel that you might have wasted. This is all a process, and I'll keep saying it again and again. I truly think there is a large amount of women who are going through these struggles and choosing to radically change their lives because that's what their baby is literally demanding of them. We see the crackhead on the side of the street get pregnant. We see people who are unhealthy have a successful IVF or IUI, but that's not your journey, and I can almost guarantee it's because there's a higher purpose for you and your future family. And to achieve that higher purpose, you are the one who is going to walk through the fire, break the generational trauma. You are going to massively redesign your lifestyle, almost to a certain point where family and friends start looking at you weird. You might not connect with them like you used to. You definitely don't have the same set of beliefs that they have. And you will become, if you don't already feel it, a little bit of the black sheep of the family. And I do believe that's because it was part of your soul's journey, but especially it's part of your child's soul journey. I am very confident that my 2 boys, um, were like, "Get your SHIT together because we are not coming down." And there's for some of us, there we have to. Right? We have this energetic game reality, and we have this physical game reality that we're living. If you cannot get your physical body in alignment, you will never become that energetic match, right? Your babies can be waiting there. You can have like 100 spirit babies waiting for you. But if you cannot get physically fit to carry that baby, whether or not you use medical treatment, it's just never going to work. The cool thing is when it's like it's so intertwined because you get to a point where you're like, why am I not sticking to my diet? Why am I not doing the things, committing to exercise or yoga or meditation or whatever it is? And that's where the subconscious mind, the energy, the mindset play together, right? I didn't have a huge energetic journey with my fertility journey. Mine was almost 100% physical, but I did have to change my mindset towards my situation, whether that be changing my diet, using IVF, why it took so long for me and not everyone else, all those things. You have to change that energy. And then it plants these seeds of consciousness that when you keep continuing through pregnancy and motherhood, things will come up because this doesn't negate, life happening. And you'll be able to have that conscious knowledge of like, okay, so when you are in the healing phase, when you are in the waiting room, basically, right? You are waiting in that room for your turn. That is where surrender comes in and trust in whether you believe in God, the universe, or you don't believe in anything, but you trust, like everyone who's here has that crazy belief in their body and in what they want, their ultimate goal. And that is going to get you to where you want to go because you will not stop until you do it, right? And it doesn't not necessarily mean natural pregnancy or IVF. It could be egg donor, sperm donor, adoption. But you will get to what is in alignment with you, what you're going to align with. Um, so when you're in that waiting zone, just know that following your intuition, like, okay, I'm on the right diet. I know I'm doing good. Okay, I did the gut health test. I do not need to search anymore. I think that's a big thing for like type A's and doers is that like you need to search. If you're not searching, you're not doing anything. So therefore, you're not going to reach your ultimate goal. There is definitely a time where you have to do your research. You have to get your coaching. You have to get your support to line yourself up on the correct path. But then it's time to walk that path and be consistent because it's the consistency that's going to show you the evidence of what a lot of people around you are telling you is impossible to do, whether that because of your age, whether that is your test results, whatever it is. Um, Staying open to receiving and that surrender mode. So in a discovery call that I was having today, she's like, what does surrender feel like? And I was like, hard, boring. um, it feels like you're not doing anything, and that's the whole purpose. So when you find yourself like wanting to go Google something else or feeling like you have to read another fertility book or listen to another fertility podcast that isn't in alignment, right? Um, Stop yourself and go and do something that's going to bring you joy. Well, the the weird thing for a while might be is that it might not feel like joy. It might feel like anxiety because your body and your subconscious mind and your nervous system, especially, is gonna be like, no, 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 that's not what we do. That's not safe. That's different. That's something new. Go back over there and just keep doing, and checking off that list. Um, where you've got to change those patterns. So it's like I said, it's very intertwined. The subconscious belief, if you see yourself in the physical world keep looping and patterning the same stuff that you don't want to be doing, you got to get down to what that subconscious belief or emotion that's keeping you in that pattern, in that loop. um And a good way, I mean, obviously, Psych K, you guys all have, the 6 Steps to Boost Your Embryos PDF within every program that's in Finding Fertility, or I know this always goes out to the podcast, so if you don't have the PDF download, that is such an amazing resource to get. When you do one-to-one coaching with me or a one-to-one session, we do Psych K, we do emotion code, we do body code to really help get those subconscious beliefs. Outside, but the other piece to it is that you have to show up for yourself in the physical world. If we flip a belief around worthiness, and one of the ways you can show yourself that you are worthy of a healthy body to bring in a healthy baby is through nutrition, and you consistently do not show up for yourself again, and you don't break those habits of, I don't want to say willpower, but like, okay, I'm just going to put in a little bit more extra effort today. Your subconscious mind is like, yes, we are worthy of that. We are going to do that. So you have to keep continually showing up for yourself. And when you don't, that's when you got to go deep into that mindset, subconscious belief stuff. But know that this waiting room, this time that you hang out in, is just a part of the journey. Um, there has been a few clients of mine who get pregnant a lot quicker. But I would say for the most part, there is this waiting time for a lot of people. Um, and sometimes it is just time served. I also know, with spirit babies, I've been told by several people that sometimes it's on their schedule. It's when they wanna come in. They wanna come in on a whatever, certain moonbeam, certain, like, planet alignment. They wanna choose their birthday, whatever it is. So, when you are in this journey, and if, if you're still sticking around in this and you're in this community, having the belief that your soul baby, your spirit baby is a completely different entity. And I will tell you, hand on heart, when they come to earth, as much as you want to control them, you're not going able, it's just not going to happen. You can mold them, but you can't control them. So it's really important that surrender piece comes into, that waiting room, and you trust. You have the deep belief, you've done the hard work, you continually show up for yourself, you're seeing results in your normal and common health issues, and bringing that joy and gratitude into your life is going to maximize, um, like put you in hyperspeed. And remember, you can't want and have at the same time. If you have a baby, yes, you can start potentially wanting a second and a third and a fourth, but whatever you want, you got to surrender that and know that it's coming and trust that it's coming. Okay. So I hope that helps. I hope that anyone in the waiting room right now and you feel like you've done everything, or maybe you're just at the beginning of your journey of like, I've started to do everything right. Give it time. Give it time. Just keep moving forward. And I can promise you, when you're doing the work, you will not think twice about it when you're holding your baby. I was 37 when I held my second. I started, like I started a long time before that. And I didn't even think twice about it. Was I 37? I don't think I was 37. 42. Yeah, I was 37. Um, it started when I was the math isn't mathing in my head, but yes, I waited that long, and I've never begrudged being an older mom, quote unquote. I don't even think I was older, to be honest. Um, but I've never begrudged not having kids when I first wanted to have them. And I don't know how much I've talked about this, but my niece, my goddaughter, is a living representation of my journey. My sister-in-law, amongst several different people, all got pregnant around the same time we started. And, I don't look at her and ever say, I should have a child that age. She's 15 now. I just don't ever do that because I shouldn't have. It wasn't part of my journey, and I am, like, forever grateful that I didn't, because I would've continued on a lot, if not all, of the BS that I didn't actually realize was there in, my emotional luggage that was kindly gifted to me. Okay. So, my friends, I hope that helped. Obviously, reach out with any questions or comments within the community. I'm here for you guys. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and we'll connect soon.